Hey guys, welcome to Chem Galaxy. So today I'm going to continue my topic of carboxylic acid. In the last lecture, we have done the preparation methods of carboxylic acid in full detail. So if you haven't watched those videos, the playlist appearing on the iCard, you can check it out. Now in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the chemical properties of carboxylic acid. But before going into the reactions of carboxylic acid, we are going to first study the structure of carboxylic acid. Alright, why is carboxylic acid acidic in nature? And then we are going to compare the acidic strength of alcohols and carboxylic acid, and also we are going to compare the acidic strengths of different type of carboxylic acid, because in the competitive exams this question is always asked that if you are given with 3 or 4 carboxylic acid and you are asked to tell us that which carboxylic acid is most acidic. Alright, so after studying through this lecture, you will then be able to solve such questions in a second. Alright, so stick around, watch the full video. The video will be very important for all of you. Alright, so now let's start. So as you all can see on the screen, the first heading is acidity of carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acids are basically stronger acid than alcohol and phenol, but they are weaker acid than mineral acid like hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and also they are weaker acid than sulfonic acid. So basically, if we want to check whether a compound is acidic in nature or not, what we do, the basic method is to dissolve it in water and see whether it gives H plus or not. Okay, and so if it gives H plus, so it is acidic in nature, and by checking the concentration of that H plus, we get to know that whether the compound is a strong acid or a weak acid. So that's what we are going to do in the carboxylic acid as well. So let us see. So the basic method to check the acidity of a compound is to dissolve it in water and check the concentration of H plus ions. Okay. So when carboxylic acid is dissolved in water, it ionizes and exists in dynamic equilibrium. So basically when we dissolve carboxylic acid in water, it exists in an equilibrium with its ions. What are the ions? Basically when the carboxylic acid is RCOOH, so when it will get dissociated in water, it will form RCOO minus, which is known as the carboxylate ion, and H plus, of course, because it is an acid. Okay, so this is what we get. So I have written here hydronium ion because when H plus will get broken from this carboxylic acid and oxygen has a lone pair on it, so the oxygen will transfer the lone pair to H plus. That's how hydronium ion is formed, and because oxygen has given lone pair, so that's why it has positive charge on it. So because it is in equilibrium, it will also have a equilibrium constant. So according to law of active mass, we will have the equilibrium constant like this, that is concentration of carboxylate ion, concentration of hydronium ion, concentration of carboxylic acid, as well as concentration of water. Okay, so but there is one thing to be kept in mind, that we have taken water in excess. So because when we have taken water in excess, so when equilibrium has established, there is not much change in the concentration of water. So that means the concentration of water can be treated as a constant. So here is already one constant here, which is known as equilibrium constant, and here is another constant. So we will combine the two and form a new constant, which is known as Ka, which is known as the dissociation constant for an acid. Okay, so let us see that here the same thing I have written here also, but I have taken this concentration of water and multiplied it with K, that is equilibrium constant. So because these two are also constant, so the product of two constant will also give a new constant, which is known as the Ka, which is known as the dissociation constant of acid. Now you see that this dissociation constant is directly proportional to hydronium ion. Okay, this dissociation constant is directly proportional to the concentration of hydronium ion. So if by knowing the value of Ka, we can check whether the concentration of hydronium ion is more or less, because if the value of dissociation constant is high, that means the concentration of hydronium ion is also high, that means the acid is strong. And if the value of dissociation constant is low, so the concentration of hydronium ion is also low, so that means that the acid is weak. So that's what I have written here also, as it is evident that Ka is directly proportional to the concentration of hydronium ion. So the greater value of dissociation constant means greater concentration of hydronium ion, so stronger is the acid. Now let us see some of the dissociation constant values of some different carboxylic acid. Like I have taken here is formic acid, ethanoic acid, 1-chloroethanoic acid, 2-chloroethanoic acid and 3-chloroethanoic acid. So you see this 3-chloroethanoic acid has the largest value of dissociation constant. So that means this is the strongest acid. Then comes the 2-chloroethanoic, then 1-chloro, then ethanoic and then formic. Now sometimes it is quite difficult for us to remember the values of dissociation constant now, because you see there are big values as well and there are the power in 10 also, so it is quite troublesome to remember them. So that's why we sometimes use the values in terms of pKa. Okay, so now what is pKa? pKa is negative log of dissociation constant. So by knowing the value of pKa, we can also tell whether the acid is strong or weak. Let us see how. So the pKa values, the numerical values of Ka are in the powers of 10. So it is sometimes convenient to express the acid strength on pKa values, as I have told you. Okay, so now what is pKa? pKa is negative log of dissociation constant. Now you can also write it like this, because according to the properties of logarithm, this minus can be placed here also as the power of -1. So as the power of -1 means reciprocal, so this can be written like this. Now here is one thing to be noticed, that if a strong acid has a high value of dissociation constant, okay, we all know that. So by putting a large value here, we will get a small value of pKa, which means that if we are given with a compound which is a strong acid, then it will have a large value of dissociation constant but a small value of pKa. So this point should be kept in mind. So that's what I have written here also. So the greater value of Ka, smaller is the value of pKa. So if an acid have large values of Ka or small value of pKa, it is a strong acid, and vice versa for weak acid, you all know that. Now taking the same acids in the table and we will see the pKa values now. Now you see, because this trichloroethanoic acid is the strongest acid because it has the largest value of dissociation constant. So now you see it has the smallest value of pKa and rest is here. So I hope this point is clear. Now let us see the acidity of carboxylic acid on the basis of its structure. Now we will study why is carboxylic acid basically acidic in nature, and we will study it through the structure of it. So before getting into that, let me tell you one point, that when we check whether a compound is a strong acid or weak acid, there is a basic method that, you know, when we are talking about the acid, that means that we will remove H plus. So when we will remove H plus, we are left with a anion. Okay, so that anion is known as conjugate base. So if the conjugate base of a acid is stable, okay, keep my words clear, that if the conjugate base of a acid is stable, that means that acid is a strong acid. Okay, so this point should be kept in mind. Now let us see the structure of carboxyl group. So carboxyl group is a resonance hybrid structure of two resonating structures. I have taught you this in my first lecture of carboxylic acid, that the carboxyl group is a resonance hybrid of two resonating structures. Which are these two structures? One is this okay, and the second is this. This is formed by transferring the pi bond towards this oxygen. So this oxygen will get a negative charge, this carbon will get a positive charge. Now because this oxygen has lone pair on it, so it will donate its lone pair to this carbon. Okay, so this carbon will get a positive charge because it has donated its lone pair. So this is the structure we got. Now if we talk about the structure of conjugate base, because any acid means the removal of H plus, and we want to check the acidity of carboxylic acid, which means that whether carboxylic acid is strong acid or weak acid, so we need to check the conjugate base, as I have told you. So now let us check the conjugate base. So this is the conjugate base. Okay, it also has two resonating structures. One is this structure and the second is this structure. Now you see that these two structures are same. You see that? Okay, so this means that this is an equivalent resonance. What is equivalent resonance? That whether the resonating structures, when the resonating structures have equal stability. You see in the above the resonating structures of the carboxyl group, these two structures does not have same stability. This is more stable, this is less stable. Okay, but in this case, these two compounds have, or these two structures have same stability. That means that this is an equivalent resonance. So this term should be kept in mind. Now you see that this conjugate base is quite stable as compared to this. Okay, that means before the removal of H plus, the resonating structure is unstable as compared after the removal of H plus. What I am trying to say is that the conjugate base is quite stable as compared to this compound, because first of all it is an equivalent resonance, it has two equal stability resonating structures. Also there is no charge separation. You see here it is charge separation. Okay, so because there is charge separation, so it will create a potential difference, and because it will create a potential difference, the energy of this structure will rise, so it will lead to instability. Whereas in these structures there is no charge separation, so there will be no potential difference developed, so there will be no increase in energy. So these are stable structures as compared to this. Okay, so you see that the conjugate base is quite stable. So this means that the carboxylic acid should be a good acid. Also, we can also explain the acidity of carboxylic acid, that why is carboxyl group acidic in nature according to this structure also. You see that this oxygen has a plus charge on it. So you should keep this in mind, that any electronegative atom, if it has a positive charge on it, it will increase its electronegativity. Okay, and if it have a negative charge on it, it will decrease its electronegativity. So here oxygen is quite electronegative and it has a positive charge, so its electronegativity will increase. Okay, so when its electronegativity will increase, it will attract the sigma bonded electrons of oxygen and hydrogen. So what will happen? It will attract the sigma bonded electron, so the bond between oxygen and hydrogen will get weak. So a weak bond results into a easy removal of H plus ion. Okay, so since the carboxyl group can easily remove the H plus ion, it means it is a good acid. Okay, so this is how you can explain how carboxylic group is acidic in nature on the basis of its structure. Whether you can explain it from here also, or you can explain its stability of conjugate base as well. So that's what I have written here also. So the carboxyl group is acidic in nature due to structure 2, 3 and 4. As I have told you that from second structure also you can explain, and from third and fourth structure also you can explain why is carboxylic group a good acid. Okay, now the rest of the thing is that in structure 2 there is a positive charge on the oxygen of hydroxyl group, so it attracts the sigma bonded electrons of hydrogen, which results in a loosely held hydrogen which can be abstracted quite easily. This I have told you, I have read it for you so that you can note it somewhere. And structure 3 and 4 suggest that structure 3 and 4 means these, that the anion or the conjugate base left after the removal of H plus ion is better resonance stabilized, thus the H plus again can be abstracted quite easily. Now let us compare the acidic character of carboxylic group with alcohol. Okay, now we are going to compare the aliphatic carboxylic acid with aliphatic alcohols. Aliphatic means that the alkyl group is a straight chain. Okay, RCOH and ROH. Okay, so the R is a straight chain. So we are comparing such acid and alcohol. So one thing is clear, that the carboxylic acid is a stronger acid than the alcohol. Now why is so? There is a carboxyl group and there is an hydroxyl group. Okay, so after the removal of H plus in both the cases, we are left with a carboxylate ion and we are left with the alkoxide ion. And the carboxylate ion is resonance stabilized, but the alkoxide ion is not resonance stabilized, so that's why carboxylic acid is stronger acid. That's what I have written here also. Let me read it. So as we all know that both carboxyl group and alcohol has OH group in it. Yes, both the carboxyl group and alcohol group has OH. So which one is more acidic? That I have explained also, that the carboxylic group in water will give this carboxylate ion and hydronium ion, and alcohol in water will give alkoxide ion in water, hydronium ion. So in reaction 1, the carboxylate ion is resonance stabilized, as I have shown you here. This is the carboxylate ion and it is resonance stabilized. Okay, so same case is here also. So the carboxylate ion is resonance stabilized. This means its conjugate base is stable. But if we talk about this alkoxide ion, there is no resonance here. So that means its conjugate base is unstable as compared to this carboxylate ion. So this means that the carboxylic acid is a stronger acid than alcohol or aliphatic alcohol. So that's what I have written here also. So as in the reaction 1, which means this, the carboxylate ion is resonance stabilized without any charge separation, whereas the alkoxide ion is not resonance stabilized, on the contrary is unstable, as the plus I effect of R group tend to increase the negative charge of the ion. Yes, this I have not told you, that I have told you that this conjugate base is unstable on the basis of resonance. But here is one more thing, that you see this is an R group, and R group has a plus I effect in it. That is, it shifts its sigma bond towards the next atom. That means this R will shift its sigma bond electrons towards the oxygen, and that will intensify the negative charge on it. So when it will intensify the negative charge on it, its energy rises. That means its stability decreases. So that means the conjugate base is quite unstable in the case of alcohol. So this implies that why carboxylic acid is a stronger acid than alcohol in case of aliphatic. That means the alkyl group is a straight chain. Now let us compare the acidic character between benzoic acid and phenol. Now let us see whether the aromatic acid is more acidic in nature, or an phenol is more acidic in nature. So basically you all know that if we want to check the acidity of any compound, we should check the stability of the conjugate base. So straightforward, I am getting towards the conjugate base. So resonating structure of phenoxide ion, this is the conjugate base of phenol. Okay, so these are the resonating structures of it, and this is the conjugate base of benzoic acid, and these are the resonating structures of benzoic acid. Now you see here that the phenyl group are attached in both the cases because it is an aromatic acid and an aromatic alcohol. Now the phenyl group has minus I effect and plus R effect. In minus I effect means it attracts the sigma bond electrons towards itself, and the plus R effect means it shifts the electron density towards the atom attached to it. Okay, now in case of phenyl, the plus R effect dominates the minus I effect, which means in overall, if we speak, that the phenyl group has a tendency to donate electrons. Okay, this point should be kept in mind, that the benzene has a tendency to donate the electrons, or you must say shift the electron density away from it. So this phenyl group will shift the electron density toward oxygen, and this phenyl group in the benzoate ion will shift the electron density toward carbon. Now you see, the oxygen has a negative charge, and oxygen is directly attached to benzene ring. Okay, and in this case the oxygen has a negative charge and it is attached to carbon, not to the benzene ring. So in the case of phenoxide ion, the negative charge will get intensified more as compared to this benzoate ion because of the difference in distance. Here the distance between the negative charge and the phenyl group is less as compared to the benzoate ion. So that's why the conjugate base of phenol is unstable as compared to the conjugate base of carboxylic acid. Also, one more way to explain this thing is that if you see the second structure, third structure, fourth structure of phenoxide ion, so it has a negative charge at ortho position and para position. Okay, now these three structures are quite unstable. Why? Because carbon is less electronegative in nature. Okay, and having a negative charge on a less electronegative atom creates instability. So these three structures are unstable, so we can neglect these. Similarly, if we look at the structure, these three structures of benzoate ion, okay, so you see there are two negative ions adjacent to each other, so it creates a lot of instability, so we can neglect these structures as well. So if we neglect the above three structures and if we neglect the below three structures, what we are left with a phenoxide ion structure and this benzoate ion structure. Now if we want to check whether this is more stable and this is more stable, how can we do it? Now you see that in carboxylate ion, okay, here is the structure and this minus ion is in resonance, because carboxylate ion is in resonance, I have taught you earlier. So this is in resonance, okay, but this minus charge is not having resonance with any of the atom, okay. So that means this minus charge is localized, that is, it is fixed in one point, whereas this minus charge is delocalized. That means that this structure is more stable than the phenoxide structure. That means this is the conjugate base. These both are conjugate base, but this conjugate base is more stable than this, because this minus charge is localized, it is fixed in one position, and this minus charge is delocalized, it is doing resonance. So that means this is more stable. So the conjugate base is more stable, that means its acid is more acidic in nature. So this is how you can explain how benzoic acid is more acidic than phenol. So that's what I have written here also. Let me read it for you. That now the phenyl group has minus I effect and a plus R effect, in which plus R effect dominates, so the benzene ring increases the electron density to the atom attached to it, as I have told you. So if we look at the structure one, structure of the phenoxide ion and benzoate ion, the negative charge is more intensified in the phenoxide ion because of the distance between the negative charge and the phenyl group. This I have also told. Also, if we look at the resonating structure of the two ions, we see that the structure 2, 3, 4 are quite unstable. So if we neglect these structures and compare the structure 1, the structure of the two ions, and if we compare the first structure of the two ions, then the benzoate ion structure is more stable than the phenoxide ion, as there are two resonating structures of the benzoate ion, whereas there is no resonating structure of phenoxide ion, which means the negative charge of the phenoxide ion is localized. Now you see, the one I have explained earlier, that's what I have written here also, that this carboxylate ion, if we neglect the rest of the unstable structures of unstable resonating structures, we are left with this structure of the carboxylic acid and this structure of the phenol. This is the conjugate base of phenol, this is a conjugate base of carboxylic acid. Now you see, this is resonance stabilized, whereas this is fixed, okay. So that's why this conjugate base is more stable than this. That's why benzoic acid is more acidic than phenol. And here is a note also, that formic acid, okay, formic acid is even more acidic than benzoic acid. Now you say how? Because you see, in carboxylic acid, in benzoic acid, you see this is the conjugate base of benzoic acid, it is quite stable because of this resonance, okay, it is delocalized, this negative charge is delocalized, that's why it is stable. But because the benzene has a electron donating tendency, it will intensify the negative charge of oxygen to some extent, because the distance is a bit longer, so it will not intensify that much as it intensifies in the phenoxide case, but it will intensify. Whereas in formic acid, there is no such group attached to the carboxyl group. The formula of formic acid is HCOOH. So H has no tendency to whether to donate or to attract electrons. So in this case, there is complete delocalization without any intensification of the negative ion. So that's why the formic acid is even stronger acid than benzoic acid. So the trend of acidity of carboxylic acid is this. The formic acid is the most acidic, then comes the benzoic acid, and then comes the rest of the acid. But this is only true if there is no any other substituents attached to it. If we attach to it any electron withdrawing compound, or if we attach to it any electron withdrawing substituent, then the trend will change. We will talk it in the next lecture, but for now, if there is a simple carboxylic acid without any substituents, without any other substituents than hydrogen, only hydrogen is present, not any other substituent is present, then in such case the formic acid is the strongest acid, then comes the benzoic acid, then comes the rest of the acid. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood whatever I have taught. If you have understood, do give it a like, subscribe my channel, and if you have any queries, comment down below. So till then, this is Akash Shukla signing off.